Dr. Steven Greer recently made a live broadcast on his own YouTube channel to react to the UFO Disclosure event that could be false disclosure and nothing more than a big lie. An important update based on recent discussions with attorney Daniel Sheehan, the Disclosure Project lawyer, and Luis Elizondo.
Section 51.
Hi everyone, what's up guys? DOZgeek here again with Section 51. Big thanks as always for your support to the channel and big thanks to the viewers who were with me during Wednesday's live stream. Your energy and your messages are always a huge encouragement to me. Before starting, let's like and share this new video right now to keep supporting Section 51. And please, let me invite you to watch this video until the end in order to boost the ranking of the channel. I hope you're well and that you're ready. A lot of interesting information at the moment, it's a bit of a rush. So let's start. On last Wednesday the 19th of May 2021, at the same time I was doing a live stream on YouTube, Dr. Steven Greer made a live broadcast on his own YouTube channel from Virginia to react to the UFO Disclosure event scheduled in June 2021 by the Pentagon. This live broadcast was titled Update on False Disclosure and What is Going on with attorney Daniel Sheehan and Luis Elizondo. So let's see what we got here. For people who don't know him, Steven Greer is an American physician and ufologist who founded the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence and the Disclosure Project, which seeks the disclosure of allegedly classified secret UFO information. He claims to have seen an unidentified flying object at close range when he was about 8 years old, which inspired his interest in ufology. He produced several documentaries dealing with the subject of extraterrestrial life, government cover-ups, and close encounters of the fifth kind. Steven Greer, through his video, wanted to react because of the actual confusion about all the recent UFO leaks and this highly anticipated event. In fact, he seems to be convinced that Luis Elizondo is a professional disinformation agent putting out false intelligence about the UFO matter in through the mainstream media. He claims that he had a discussion with attorney Daniel Sheehan, the Disclosure Project lawyer, few weeks ago. According to him, attorney Sheehan was contacted by Luis Elizondo because he needed help with his legal case, knowing the fact the Pentagon was about to pull his security clearances. Because Elizondo had left TTSA to the Stars Academy, the famous science and technology division made to collect documents and physical materials from public and private sources related to UAP phenomena in order to study it and how it can be connected with transformative technologies. TTSA features top former officials from the Pentagon, CIA, Department of Defense, and Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, but also celebrities like Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. Elizondo pretends that he left because people wanted him to present that there was an alien threat or a threat to the national security. He was threatened with loss of his security clearance because he didn't want to continue to propagate lies about the supposed alien threat. Luis Elizondo has told that he knows, like Chris Mellon knows too, that there is no such thing as an alien threat or a threat to the national security. According to him, that would be the last trick they found to convince people to use huge funding for the Space Force and eventually a conflict with these extraterrestrial civilizations. So Elizondo would like people to know that everything which is said about an alien threat is untrue. What is more explosive is that Elizondo has also informed Attorney Sheehan that he in fact has been in a facility where an extraterrestrial vehicle was stored. So we are currently confronted with many speeches in the medias talking about these recent and declassified UFO sightings, but without being able, or maybe without willing, to explain exactly what these are. Elizondo claims that he is absolutely sure that these crafts are in fact of extraterrestrial origin, and moreover, some of them may be ours. For example, the many UFO sightings leaked to Jeremy Corbell these recent days, triangle UFOs, disc-shaped UFOs, pyramid UFOs swarming over US Navy ships, these would be ours, made by US companies like Boeing or Lockheed using advanced technology. Those are man-made UFOs using anti-gravity, and several people in the aerospace industry at a high level of clearance are aware of this. The problem is that Dr. Steven Greer doubts the sincerity of Elizondo because the man is well known to some senior CIA officials as a professional disinformation agent. And according to Steven Greer, Attorney Daniel Sheehan is still working with Elizondo in order to represent him, to get him to come clean. So the strategy of Sheehan seems to be, in a way, to convince officials working on the UFO sightings research, and also to convince people that there is no threat from the UFOs. He seems to be trying to encourage Luis Elizondo and some of the others to, in fact, defect from the disinformation and lies that they have been saying in the mainstream media up on Capitol Hill and in other places about the subject of UFOs. The main lies would be: 1. These UFO sightings are some kind of national security threat or concern. 2. We don't know what they are or where they are from. According to Dr. Steven Greer and his several interviews with experts working in Lockheed and aerospace industry, these UAP are man-made and extraterrestrial. He pretends that we have enormous amount of information about that. And the many interviews on CNN and Fox News talking about the UFO sightings recently witnessed by US Navy personnel and pilots would be part of the false disclosure that Greer already warned in 1999. The disclosure would serve secrecy because these powerful people would want the public to now know that they are UFOs and that they are a national security threat and concern, what Nick Pope and others keep saying. And there is now a massive information campaign that is false. Eventually that would allow them to put out more scary information, maybe next month, with the Director of National Intelligence report showing even more gruesome events that have happened, and that show that these are a threat to national security. Why? Because the military-industrial and industrialist complex wants people to be afraid of something. An incoming event, bigger than 9/11, bigger than COVID. And we all ever saw how these recent events dramatically changed our lives, our way of living. And you know what? That's seriously becoming scary now. This big lie would justify not only the expansion of weapons in the space, but also the Space Force. And an alien threat narrative which would be the final great card or the final trick to play after the cards of military conflicts between countries in the past. Personally, I don't think that aliens in space may be a special threat, knowing the possibility that if they are able to travel in space and time, they are also able to travel through other dimensions. So I don't believe that experiencing war in space would be the solution for humankind. That's where I agree with Dr. Steven Greer. So all that big lie of an alien threat, that would be why Attorney Sheehan is trying now to encourage Luis Elizondo to speak the truth and come clean on all this. To denounce all these hoaxes, all these false flag operations. Steven Greer is also working on fighting against this disinformation campaign in order to prevent these tragic changes that are likely to happen in the coming months on the basis of lies. And I think that the big and final question raised by Dr. Steven Greer is a good question. Do we want to preserve the future of our planet, the future of our place in the cosmos, by trying to elevate minds and hearts of humanity by going forward in peace on this planet and in space? Or will we be facing quite literally an extinction level event if we stay on the path of violent engagement and the expansion of the war machine in space? And I'm sure that there are already very destructive weapons on satellites. So we now have a choice to make. According to Greer, the big false flag event already happened since the 50s. He pretends that many of these UFO incidents, abductions, crash landing, were man-made accidents but portrayed as unknown UFO incidents. And even US presidents or senators don't have special access to secret projects. They don't know what it's all about. These organizations secretly working on all this stuff have enormous power. Greer believes that whatever the Director of National Intelligence may have access to, something that has been pulled out of this black world, it is sure that he hasn't been briefed into the most unacknowledged special access projects where he would be able to discern what is true and what is false, what is fact and what is fiction. Sincerely, after all this new speech, after all the videos and pictures I've seen, I must admit that I am a little confused. I don't really know who to believe anymore. My most reasonable thought today would be to say, let's wait and see. But as Dr. Steven Greer was saying, we don't have much time left, and knowing that a global disinformation campaign could be running now, even staying inactive can backfire. So what should we do? Is Dr. Steven Greer right, or is that simply pure crazy talk to make some buzz on the internet? Some delusion? But can we still believe the official speech and mainstream media? I have to let you make your own judgment. You can go and watch the live broadcast of Steven Greer on his own YouTube channel if you want to see the full speech and make your own mind about all this. Please feel free to tell me what you think in the comments. And big thanks to Valerian who sent me the news. I hope you enjoyed this video. Section 51 is on social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share, to subscribe and to support Section 51. You are also free to share the video of Steven Greer if you want, if you believe what he says. I'll be back really soon. Open your eyes, watch the sky, live long and prosper.